All right, current issue students, we are at the end of Unit 5. So good work. We have no news arcs this week. We have our end of the unit project, which I'll talk about right now. We'll start on it today. You'll have until next Monday to do it, a week from today. So I think it's more than enough time. Um, we have no school this Friday. We have no news arcs this week. So that's where we're at the moment. And then we're going to our last topic, Unit 6 going forward, and then we're done. So there's some light at the end of the tunnel. So let's talk about the assignment today, the technique of persuasion. And again, you have the entire week to work on this, and it's due next Monday. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting together everything we learned in this lesson. We talked about, logical fallacies, techniques by political individuals. How do they persuade you? How do they use the media? I had you guys particularly look at the two candidates for president, Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Both of them are the presumptive nominees for the parties. So we're putting together all that stuff to make to kind of get, hey, did you get the big ideas from this unit? So let's look at the techniques of persuasion. All right. So it says the purpose of this assignment is to demonstrate an understanding of different techniques of persuasion by creating campaign advertisements and posters that utilize the major strategies of advertisers use to convince consumers. So by working by yourself, you'll create a Google slideshow or Google Doc that demonstrates three major types of persuasions used in the media. In order to accomplish this, you will create a political advertisement poster that employs one of the following 10 techniques: humor, macho, friends, family, fun, nature, sexy, cartoon, celebrity, or wealth. The second one, you're going to create a second political advertisement that employs either the use of fear or anger. And the third one, you're going to create a political advertisement poster that employs a logical fallacy. And so at the end of this, I'll show you guys a couple examples. So create a title slideshow with your name, a separate slide page for each of the three advertisement posters. So each slide page must include a clearly identifiable candidate in a political issue that you're trying to persuade the public about. So it could be political issues like the death penalty, taxes, trade, jobs, global warming, guns, healthcare, etc. And after each slide, you will include a written explanation of what political or what persuasive technique you use to get your candidate elected. You will also explain how you may have used this image, language, emotion, color to accomplish that. So example, don't use this, but you can use Joe Biden. And this is why I had you guys do a little bit more work on Joe Biden and Donald Trump, because those are two candidates you guys can use right off the bat because you have some knowledge about them and what they stand for, what's their issues. So you can say, hey, I choose Joe Biden as my candidate and global warming as my issue. My first advertisement poster, I'm choosing is nature. I find an image of a beautiful landscape and a Photoshop of Biden's face on the horizon. Then I include the text box, a vote for Biden is a vote to protect the environment and global warming. And now you do the same for two more, using fear or anger and a logical fallacy. So that's what you're going to do for these three advertisements. Again, you can use Joe Biden, just don't use that same exact scenario. So then a reflection, a well-developed paragraph, reflection on the final slide that answers the question. For an average citizen in the United States, explain the importance of being able to recognize the techniques of persuasion, especially as a return to politics in 2020. So here's the criteria. You must select three different political candidates. So I don't want to have an ad for the same three people, same person. So you're not going to do that. Individuals must be 2020 political candidates. So Trump, Biden, Oberweis, Underwood. And then you'll submit a shareable link to your project on the Google form located in the Haiku page. Do not share your project. It will not be graded. Do not copy or paste URL. Get a shareable link and then submit it in the Google form. So I found a really good site, Ballotpedia. I know about it. It's really good, and it's about the congressional elections 2020. And it goes through all the elections and the Senate, the House, historical party control, and so forth and so forth. So you're like, hey, I don't know any candidates. Well, I told you Trump and Biden, so there's two right out of the way. And here's the U.S. House. For a lot of us, because I know we kind of live in different districts, Illinois 14 with Lauren Underwood, this is considered a battleground. So a Democrat or a Republican can win it. Lauren Underwood is our current congressional representative from the district, and it talks about her and her career and her votes and what's important to her. And then we have Oberweis is the person that she's going against. He's run for budget Illinois political offices before. It talks about where he stands on issues and goes a little bit more detailed. And immigration is a big issue. He ran this just a little bit more his website about the things that he's passionate about. He ran a famous website, famous commercial about a decade or two ago, flying over Soldiers Field in a helicopter, talking about uh, as many immigrants that filled Soldiers Field coming to America. I think it was like each month, and I got a lot of airwaves. So this is how. So you can do these candidates. You can do whoever. All I want you to do is find three people, and they're running for office in 2020. All right. So let's look at some examples that I can show you of one. So I'm going to show you a B example, and I'm going to show you one that got an A. Perfect. All right. Okay. So let's look at this project. Bill Haslam from Tennessee just cares for his family, more importantly, for your family and well-being. He married his college sweetheart. He coaches young children. He Bible study. He'll lower your taxes. So basically, this technique used was family, right? He talks about how he's a very faith-going person. He's married to his wife. So that's the technique used, right? Kevin McCarthy supports the creation of the wall and strengthening immigration laws. Don't like the spelling there, but you guys can kind of get the idea here. If you don't vote for Kevin McCarthy and strengthen our border, you could have your life be at risk, right? And so he's using fear, like this example, he's using fear, right? I'm not saying it's bad or it's not saying it's good. It's just that, hey, listen, if you don't take these measures, violence can come upon you, right? So that's again, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with the point of this assignment, but this is what, this person would use. Last one, Rick Scott, Florida. Jobs are the most important part of our society. So if you don't vote for Rick Scott, there's going to be less jobs. This will cause more poor people, and this will lead to crime and more drugs, right? And then that's the logical fallacy being used is the slippery slope, right? If you let this happen, then this happens, and this happens, and then, oh my goodness, just because you didn't vote for this one individual, society crumbles. All right. And then here you have the recognizing the techniques of persuasion, the final paragraph. So that's what you're going to do. Pick three different candidates, create one ad out of this group, one ad out of this group, and then one ad out of this group, right? Use one of the family, macho, funny, and then use fear and anger, another one, and then use a logical fallacy, right? Bandwagon, slippery slope, those are going to be pretty easy ones to do. Okay, here's a B, and I'm going to show you why it's a B, because it's actually really good. It was Pritzker, okay? And these are the first ad about Pritzker. Again, is vote for JP. It's going to lower health cost insurance. Talked about how he used family, right? There's a picture of him, family, healthcare is important. The next one is Pritzker does not want you to die. It's going to protect your Medicare, healthcare. Again, that's fear, right? Last one is I will fight Trump. Vote for me, and I'll sure everybody get healthcare, and we'll stop Trump. And so the argument here is that he's a straw man, and it goes into detail. And then the final paragraph explaining. Well, the reason why this is a B is that every candidate was Pritzker, right? I don't want you to do everyone to be Biden or everyone to be Trump. I want you to look at three different people, right? So that's what I want you to do. So that's why that's a B. So even though the sum was really good, I want you to pick three different politicians. So guys, once you're done, get a shareable link. Okay, submit it here. You can submit it here. Remember, put your last name, first name, and this. Just give me the link right there, and then we're done for the project. So again, you have an entire week to work on it. Just pick three candidates, create the advertisements, explain what you used, how you used it, and we're done. This is the assignment, and we'll start our last topic. So if you have any questions or concerns, always feel free to reach out to me.